Hisuian Goodra might be one of the most underrated Pokemon being talked about in the Pokemon metagame right now. This thing is a major upgrade over regular Goodra for a couple of reasons. It has a much better comparable defense stat, way better dual typing than regular Goodra, which should have gotten like a poison typing, and is just overall much bulkier. This thing though does come at a huge downside, not saying regular Goodra is better than this in this category, but as a bulky wall with no reliable recovery moves other than Life Dew is kinda questionable, but then you also have people making use of awkward Hisuian Decidueye, so I guess it's not all that bad. Hisuian Goodra also has 3 amazing abilities with Sap Sipper, Shell Armor, and Gooey. Shell Armor protecting from RNG, and the other 2 abilities giving it immunity and slowing down from physical attackers. All 3 are awesome abilities, but its first 2 of Sap Sipper and Shell Armor are probably the 2 abilities that are making more severe defensive impact on the meta right now. And when Zamazenta is finally gone from the meta, or by the time this video is up, or whenever, I don't know when it's going to be gone, but when it's eventually gone from the metagame, Zamazenta Hero that is, this thing will actually start to shine even more. With huge defense stats like this, I've seen it take advantage of the Assault Vest variations as a premier special wall. This is really where Goodra starts to shine, as it can thoroughly wall special Enamorous, Hisuian Bravery, and future side attacks, Zapdos, etc. The list goes on and on. Just like in short, it is a pretty good wall towards most of special attackers in the tier because of its ridiculous amounts of resistances and only few weaknesses it has, which actually to an extent makes this somewhat splashable because it allows to connect to 99% of the tier special attackers and keep them at check for a turn or 2. Even super effective damage it takes, for instance, isn't all that much at times when considered the huge stats it has and ridiculous defensive archetypes ranging from Assault Vest to leftovers people are running on it. Seriously, it is huge and unbearable to take it down sometimes, and if you don't take it down in time, you can always dish out a powerful Draco or some powerful special move if you're not careful. Poison type Pokemon like Glow King or Sneasler as well cannot reliably kick their poison type moves of Sludge Bomb or Dark Claw respectively because of the chance Hisuian Goodra is lurking on the opponent's side, which makes it difficult to spam those moves. Hisuian Goodra, especially paired up with Fairy Pokemon, can allow for Fairy type Pokemon to breathe a bit more and have more of a guessing game for opponent's side, as a poison type move is one-way ticket for a free switch in. Even steel type moves like Flash Cannon or Heavy Slam or etc. is not going to do that much because of Hisuian Goodra's presence. It's just overwhelming on the defensive end at times, and that's just really good for this Pokemon. Before I keep talking about Hisuian Goodra's awesomeness, however, I do have a very important announcement to make to all of you guys right now. We are on the road to 8k subscribers, and I need your guys' help. I make competitive Pokemon content like this all the time, and if you guys enjoy this video, you guys will definitely like what's coming in the future. A lot of you guys who are watching are not subs, so if you guys enjoy, it would really mean a lot for you guys' support. Anyways, back to the video. Goodra as well has access to some of the best coverage moves in the game, ranging from Draco Meteor to Flash Cannon to Flamethrower, Ice Beam, Thunderbolt, etc. The list goes on and on. This thing is a beast for coverage, and at 110 special attacking stat, it's actually not even all that bad. I've actually made good use of Choice Specs variation to even hit harder because this thing's already pretty good on the defensive end, not to mention if you have double screens on your side, it makes it even more difficult to take this thing out with Shell Armor. Shell Armor is also really useful at taking out the unnecessary RNG on crits, but Sap Sipper as well has also made a clear option for getting rid of Terra Grass Heat Train at times, or Rillaboom, or Magearna, as that's picking up more and more and giving attack boost towards your offensive end, which makes attacks like EQ even more hard to deal with. I think as the meta develops and Magearna is actually more common again, Sap Sipper will probably more of the ability of choice to keep Flower Trick at bay as well, not to mention the numerous grass type moves in the tier as well that can be running around. Honestly though, at the end of the day, it really comes down to team composition and what your team really needs from an ability standpoint, but I really do think Choice Specs as well can be a solid option, especially underneath dual screens with Shell Armor, perhaps surrounding around Gardevoir. Choice Specs also makes Draco Meteor hit harder and can really catch opponents off guard alongside the various hazard damage they'll have to take on their side as well. Not to mention, it can make good use of its ridiculous defenses and run a physical defensive Chesto Berry rest set, which is actually not even all that bad, and theoretically has served as a pretty good set as well. Body Press with Acid Armor, Heavy Slam, and Rest with the Chesto Berry is very doable, and I've seen it around occasionally, and honestly speaking, the ability to keep this thing around with more longevity for Hisuian Goodra is even more better because this is just more of a nuisance for your opponent to take out. I know many people have been critical of its common fighting and ground weakness it has, especially towards the common Great Tusk, but you know, that's also like a team synergy thing in all of this, and while yes it can be hard switches at times, this thing really pairs up well with the Rocky Helmet Tusk or Zapdos or other walls like Dondozo to help it out. Not to mention, it can make great use of Terrestrialization either into Ghost or Flying to keep it going, both of which offer an immunity each. However, Flying is better because of the fighting type that is resisted, where ground type moves are usually neutral to its ghost types. I think also the fighting type weakness is more so of the case of Zamazenta issue playing around, and while yes there are other Pokemon like Sneasler and Enamorous that can run superpower or close combat, combat, they aren't as overbearing in the tier compared to the likes of Zamazenta. All in all, this Pokemon is a wall, and I mean a wall on the defensive end, and allows for it to have easy meta checks for your team while dishing out heavy damage towards your opponent's side. It's like a soft, bulky, hard hitter for your opponent, not to mention its ridiculous typing and abilities that can take it even a step further. Let me know in the comments below what you guys think. If you guys haven't already, join the Discord, link in the description as well. Thanks for watching.